Hi there, thank you so much for clicking the thumbnail and being interested in my work. In this video I share with you my techniques and tips on how I draw the outline with a little help with a quarter grid. So be sure to watch it right through to the end, because here and there I'll be slowing things down so you can take a closer look. So let's dive in and take a look. The painting size is A3, so I've got to make it into quarters, so basically it's 4 A5s. So you just mark up the area, and then you need to put a centre point in each quarter then. And that centre point in each quarter will make it as though it's like the freehand style I do, by just using a point in the centre and then work outwards from it. So it just makes it a little bit easier when it's a larger picture. The easiest way to find that centre point as well is to draw diagonal lines across an A5 sheet and then just push through then with a screw or something like that, and then you can mark through that hole then on each quarter, and then you've got the centre point. Obviously make sure that your reference image is scaled to A3, and then just quarter it up and then just put a centre point in each quarter. Right, so very lightly I'm using the grey CarbOthello pencil, which is 708. Beautiful colour, just slightly darker than the actual grey pastel mat I'm using, so it's ideal. And I'm using a rubber, putty rubber or kneaded eraser to mould it and rub out and just move things around. So it's just basically getting in light first to start with, and then just getting a feel for it, and then start measuring. So I'm using my pencil there, as you can see there. I'm using my thumb as a mark and the tip of the pencil as the other mark, measuring a vertical mark and then seeing how it lies on a horizontal mark on the face, and then comparing the distance, and that's how I get the proportions. Really suggest buying a kneaded eraser. It's an amazing tool because you can just mould things. You can make quite a broad line into a very fine line by just rubbing out, so it's a great tool to have. You will find a list of materials in the description below, so you can find a link for that if you wanted to get one of those. Really recommend it. What I tend to do is keep my vision quite wide, so I'm seeing the whole of the image at once. Therefore then I'm comparing how that feels with how it feels on the board. As well as using the tip of the pencil and the thumb method to measure one area against the other, I'm also using the pencil vertical and horizontally to check the alignment of how it falls. This all develops naturally in time. You know, the more practice you do, the more easy it becomes. If you're enjoying this video, why not subscribe? It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss any of my future videos. Now, in post, in the edit of this video, I've blown up both sections of the actual original reference image and also the board, so you can see how the size of my hand's different to the other. That's only so it makes it look better on the video. But you see, when I actually draw this, that reference image is really small. You've probably seen it at the beginning of this video, the comparison. So it's really small. So I tend to have the reference images so I can see the whole of the image, and that makes it easier to draw freehand. Now I'll blow it up later if I'm doing a bit of detail in it, you know, so it's just a case when you're doing the outline and the underdrawing, I tend to like it quite small, the reference. What really helps for me to actually start to feel the image and where things go is to actually close the mind and open the heart. You'll be surprised how things will just happen, and how the movements will just somehow just happen by themselves. And you just keep out the way and just relax and just allow instincts to take over and sense more rather than think. Because thinking really causes tension, and it starts to create problems with doubt and then you get impatient, and then you just give up and you just lose heart. So really, I really suggest doing that. It has helped me over the years, just letting go, open the heart, connect to the energy and feeling of the animal or whatever you're drawing, and really dissolve yourself into it and become it, and just let it flow. I feel what you have got to be aware of as well before you start drawing is, do you want that hyperrealism, or are you happy just for realism? I just tend not wanting to do the hyperrealism now. I used to do when I was younger. I used to want to do every little hair exactly the same as what the reference image was, but as I got older, I can feel more, and I want to sort of project the energy and the feeling more than the detail, and let the details take care of themselves. So really, I like to just put suggestions down rather than details like it's exactly the same, and it's my interpretation, you know, because if you're doing that from life, you'll be doing quick sketches and then you work from your sketches. You haven't really got a detailed image to work from, you know, if you were doing it from life. So you know, I just go for the feeling like myself. It's for personal choices, really. I mean, if you want to do the hyperrealism, you can still use the same principles I'm doing, you know, regarding that, colour mixing and things, and just go for the detail. But for me, I get more enjoyment nowadays by just letting go and just letting it all happen and just observe these things work. I tend to put a little bit of highlight in the pupils just to help with the feel of it, just to see if I've got everything in the right place. It just lifts it up a little bit, so I just like to just do that. Always good just to keep comparing as well, just making sure the alignment is there on the horizontal plane and vertical plane. For longer, slower and more in-depth videos, please join me on Patreon. Link is in the description below. This part of the video, you can actually see now how small my image is compared to what I'm drawing, so I can see the whole thing. So I'd really recommend trying that. You might find a big difference in proportions, how you can see them more clearly. Now I'm working on another quarter now, so I'm working from the center point, because there's a center point in each quarter, plus the center of the complete image with the crosses there. So using the pencil vertically, I'm checking the alignment and comparing it what I've drawn up on the top left hand section, and seeing where that falls, and then just moving things accordingly. Before I correct the loose marks I've put in and change things about, all I'm doing now is going to each quarter now and lightly put everything where I feel it should be, by just sort of relaxing, just seeing the whole thing again and just have a feel for it. And you know, it's good practice just to see if you actually get the area right, because we'll go back into these quarters and check the alignment and compare them with the one what's done in the top left. Before putting the feet and toes in, I'm trying to get everything what I feel is in the correct place first, and then I'll leave them till the last, just make sure everything seems in balance, and then I'll go for the feet and the toes there. Like I mentioned earlier, just have a go just to see if you can feel where it goes, and then you can check the size and everything later. So it's a matter of just imagining where you feel they should be, and then just checking them afterwards. It's just good practice, then you get used to just doing it freehand without thinking then, and eventually you'll find that it's just doing it and it happens to be in the right place. So you just have a go first, and then you just have to check. Like here now, I did that, and it wasn't wide enough. I sensed that there was something wrong. The shape was okay, but the size wasn't right. It didn't feel right. So I checked to get that right. I compared it with a mark on the face. So I measured from one toe to another, then measured somewhere on the face, so to get the same area, and then drawn it accordingly and altered it. If you've enjoyed this video, why not give it a like and share it with your friends? It would mean so much to me, as this would help the channel to grow. I mentioned this tip in many of my videos, is to keep looking in a mirror, the reflection, just to see if there's anything that might look a bit odd that you haven't seen. It just gives you fresh eyes by looking in a reflection. And also take a photograph with your camera as well on your phone, and then have a look at it like that, and just to see if there's anything that sort of stands out. Just roughing in a few ideas where the highlights are in this branch is sitting on. That will change a lot when I start putting the underdrawing in, because I can really go to town then and get it looking like it should be in proportion and that. So just roughly just putting a few lines here and there at the moment. Now this is part one, so the next part will be the underdrawing and the details of the face, and then the part three will be the rest and the background and the branch and everything. So I'm going to make it into like 3 parts just to break it up, so I can slow it down a little bit. I will be putting the whole of this portrait on my Patreon page at some point, so keep a lookout for that. It'll be from start to finish, close to real time, so you can have a really closer look at my technique. Thank you for watching the video right through to the end. If you found value in it and you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Appreciate it, would help the channel. Leave a comment and a message in the comments below. Let me know what sort of videos you want me to produce. I've actually left a couple of links here for you to click on, and to subscribe, click on the circle here. It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much, take care and be well.